Just going to fire off the invite to Issue Firestone. And we'll get rolling. And as it's become kind of the custom, primary source of discussion right now for me is going to be weather out of 2 games. We're going to pull that up in a second. This is actually not the version of the spreadsheet I want to put up here. I'm going to do this one. We're going to open them thusly. Okay, very good. We're going to get the my DK projections up here. And get the chat up, and we'll be ready to go. I'm going to get the weather. Oh, Ash, I don't know if he reached out, but I know Bobby told me that he was reaching out to Kenny's girlfriend about, she's the PA, and I think she's going to get in touch with you directly or something like that, or Kenny will also.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. Thank you so much.
No problem. Wait, so what was I doing? Getting the weather thing up here, right? The weather up here, and then we'll get, there's Bobby. Bobby.
Hey, what's up, guys? How's it going?
Yeah, so as it's become somewhat custom, it seems as though weather is dominating the discussion, at least for a little while, for me at least. Those 2 games, the Boston game and the Cincinnati San Diego game, are certainly worth stressing over a little bit. No,
I think so. Yeah. I'm basically just taking out of my big lineups. I do have some like pivot lineups where I'm playing some stacks in the Boston game. I really like Houston and Toronto the best anyway. So it's not doing a whole lot for me personally, which I feel good about. And I'd be lying if I said I didn't play into why I like them even better, but I actually just like them better anyway when I started the day. So I'm just going with those and the Philly game. Now the chances for pop-ups in the Philly game is a good excuse to try and get off of 100% NOLA on DraftKings for me. And Bassett is actually going to be more popular because the pop-up thing could be an issue. It could be an issue for Ohtani too, if there is, if they really think that there might be in New York, but I don't actually think that is as likely, based on what I've looked into. So I'm treating it like, basically like we've got a, I'm really just playing 3 teams for the most part with a little bit of Atlanta 2-mans, because Heredia is cheap and Riley at 3rd on DraftKings, but mostly I'm just playing the the Houston Toronto Philly situation. So I'm just rolling with it. But if you are worried about, it looks like the bats are not any worry in Philly, but the fact that there's any concern at all is enough of an excuse to get off of a chalky, expensive pitcher.
Yeah, I'm actually getting on a little more Seattle than I had let on a little bit earlier today. I guess that's the one real change, is that's what I'm getting to. I'm playing 20 lineups in draft in the one, whatever the lottery thing is, and then I'm playing like 1 in the 250. I'm not playing the 888. I'm playing 1 in the 250 and 1 in, I think, something like that. And yeah, so I'm getting a bunch of Seattle, and then I got to deal with this Kansas City thing.
I'm with you on the Seattle thing too. I didn't mention that, but I am using a little bit of Ty France and Torrens, the catchers, in my main lineup. Actually, I just didn't think about it. Ty France and Torrens are both 2 guys I like a lot, but they're in different, more in play for me on DraftKings. and I'm actually playing more on FanDuel because they have a bigger tournament that I didn't want to play the 3180. So on DraftKings, I'm playing those guys. I'm not playing them as much on FanDuel, where I'm mostly playing I'm playing Toronto everywhere on FanDuel, basically because I'm able to.
Yeah.
Having a good day slate. It's not over yet, but
I think the top scoring pitcher is going to be Arrieta with -3. Oh, your Gray's doing well though, right?
Gray and I ended up playing Kim on FanDuel.
You did play Kim. All right, good.
On FanDuel, I did. I didn't on DraftKings. Oh no, I did on DraftKings, just not my main one. I actually have some like 160s in DraftKings.
Oh, wow.
And then on FanDuel, I had played one lineup, and it's I think I'm like 14th or something in the Monster right now.
Oh, wow.
But I was in the top 6 or so for a little bit, and was looking really good, and then just too much of the Milwaukee craziness.
That was nuts.
Yeah, man, they really went nuts. I did have and then Wisdom getting hurt. I have Wisdom in like 70% of my lineups, and he's in my main one on FanDuel. So that was a little bit frustrating because he would have had at least 3 more bats, maybe 4. But yeah, it's definitely like the slate's playing out exactly how I feel comfortable with it. The only issue I'm worried about a little bit is the weather in Philly. I'm a little bit of a shame. I like the Royals value. I like Dozier a lot. I like Soler a lot, but I just decided I can pivot over to Seattle and feel fine about it. And I think that they're not much worse plays, if at all.
Yeah, with all my talk, who I didn't play Fried.
You didn't play Fried. Oh,
I was going to do that.
I actually am playing him in one of my lineups on DraftKings.
Okay.
He's actually in my. I'm going weird with one, and I'll come out and say it, whatever thinking about. I'm playing Fried and Ober in the same lineup.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, try and get a little bit different, and thinking maybe my 45-40 if it holds up, and then you got the excuse to fade Nola because of even the pop-up weather, just the delay, anything for an excuse to fade somebody who's going to be 60+% owned and chalky, and expensive. And so I decided to double sort of spendish down. And also there's a little bit of risk for Ohtani to potentially, and he's the kind of guy who I think if there was a little bit of a delay that even was 45 minutes to an hour, that I could see him sitting after 4 innings or something like that. So that gives me an excuse to play these guys and thinking that their scores could hold up. I do have Garcia and Nola in my main lineup on FanDuel, and in my main lineup on DraftKings. On DraftKings. On FanDuel,
You're not playing any Peterson, are you? No.
No.
KC, Seattle, San Diego, Philly, Boston, Angels, Baltimore, Minnesota, Yankees.
Yeah.
Numbers 516-822-6186.
What's that? Your voice? The voicemail?
Yeah.
Yeah, so I think that it's like Atlanta is the other team that I think that you can get some exposure to, but I'm using it I think Riley's a great play at third base, and then I'll use Heredia because I literally needed the few hundred, and I didn't, I'd rather Heredia, like Dozier's a better play than Heredia if they're both playing, but factoring in that there is some serious weather concerns and that Heredia will probably be lower owned, it's that's just sort of what I'm just having little 2-man stacks in Atlanta like that. But really, I mean, I want to play Houston, Toronto and Houston together. It's really hard to do. It's also hard to do just because of positions and stuff. I love Bichette today, but I also like playing the Garcia for cheap and Altuve at second route too. And I think that most of your utility spots where yesterday I had them all on FanDuel as outfielders, I have a lot of I don't think I have any outfielders in my utility spot today just because of the way that I'm building.
And what are you doing on
I actually have Brad Miller in my main lineup on FanDuel, which doesn't feel great. but he's probably going to get 2 at bats. Maybe they'll lead. They don't necessarily bring a lefty. They probably will because Herrera's leading off.
Let me see what my exposure is on FanDuel right now.
Actually, I think I'm going to change my main lineup because I don't like. It's not just the Heredia thing. I just realized I don't want to have Will Myers with concerns as chalky. You know what I mean? Like if these guys weren't going to be popular and you can get them low owned, but as one-offs, even in weather worrisome games, I just feel like I don't need to do that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially when they're going to be high owned. Like it's not like I don't think you're getting a giant discount on the ownership. I think there's a good excuse to stack those games, which I did in my smaller buy-ins. I just happen to like these other stacks better, but I don't want to play scared, but I have plenty of excuses today. What's up, WW Fresh? Sorry, I got to give a shout out to WW Fresh in the chat. He won the Grand Slam last night for 10K.
No shit. You know what? That's shame on me for not being in the Discord to notice that. That's awesome.
No. He posted it on one of our videos. We didn't actually have it in the Discord.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah. So and then he finished third in the Monster for 10K, which is so. That's awesome, man. That's a great night.
That's excellent. That made my day actually. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's great news. It seems like people are having some good results, and hopefully we can find the right side of it. It's going back and forth for me. At least today is a good day. But Big Ticket wanted to know who I said on FanDuel because I guess I cut out. But I'm using Bassett in my main lineup on FanDuel. There's plenty of excuses. He's cheaper. He lets me get to exactly what I want. I think he's a better quality start pitcher than he is an actual strikeout pitcher, and I feel like on FanDuel that's good enough. I also think he's a strikeout upside against Texas all the time. And I have him really close to Garcia and Nola in general. So I like the idea of using him on FanDuel at a slight discount. But again, Nola is the guy who I think that if I was playing like a cash game, well, no, actually with a cash game, I think I might even think about just using Bassett. Any weather concerns at all, like it's just an excuse. And on FanDuel, it's not like Bassett's not going to be super popular, but there's enough other things you can do with that.
Let me ask you a question with respect to San Diego and Nola and all this stuff. So, and the weather concerns.
Yeah.
Could you argue that that the greater the weather concern really is, the less owned they would be? So in other words, like
absolutely.
So to say, it's any excuse to get off a chalky XYZ is exacerbated by weather concerns. If there are weather concerns, maybe they won't be as chalky, right?
Right, but I think in Nola's case that people are going to play him because the weather concerns don't seem terrible. Right. And you can get him in. There's value out there. But when you want to play Bichette, and you're starting all your lineups with Guerrero and Bichette for me on FanDuel, and Simeon. So if I'm playing all three of those guys, and I want to play Teoscar or whatever, I can get different. I can play Grichuk or something like that. But I'd rather play Teoscar. You kind of need to make those sacrifices. Like you still have to, you need the extra 1,200. But I actually think Bassett can, it's not like he can't out pitch Nola even if this just straight up. I just think it's more likely that Nola gets there. More likely Nola and Garcia are probably slightly better. But I don't even know about Garcia. It's pretty close between Garcia and Bassett. But I do think that that extra 1,200 is making enough of a difference for me, along with the lower ownership, along with the no weather risk. It just all piles up to make sense to me.
Let me look at some one-offs that I have.
Yeah.
On DraftKings. So I like, hang on, I'll rank them this way. I like Tatis.
Yep.
If he plays. Still this Renigfo at 2,100. Looks.
The problem is, do we want to take in that game? And that we probably need a little bit more weather. I'm okay with not playing those guys as one-offs because, I understand that the weather could affect their ownership and all that stuff. But even the weather is already it's not bad enough to where I think people completely leave it alone in San Diego. I think they are going to assume that the game's going to play, and I think people are going to play Tatis anyway. Yeah. So I don't like other players, as much, and they're going to be lower or similar owned, and they fit into my stacks. That's my excuse of why I just won't play them. It's not because I'm just afraid of the rain. It's because if you were getting the discount and they were really going to be completely unowned, that'd be one thing. But I don't get that impression. All
these KC guys look good. Dozier, Oliveira, Soler, Taylor even. That's such a cheap stack, man.
I think that one you should stack or not play it. I actually think that one has enough weather concerns where I would be worried about it. It's
okay.
I mean, probably a late start, you know, but it's really how long the field holds up. You know, this we've seen this happen, and it's happened in Boston before.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's not as bad as Washington, but it's bad. You know, so I'm just okay with getting away from it. I'm looking at the owner. I mean, I don't know, Sheets. Maybe you can help clarify what you think some of the ownerships will be, because I'm looking at it and I don't see my guys as high owned, and I understand that these things are very flawed and they're going to change.
Who are you looking at?
I'm looking at RG right now, but I don't want to.
No. Which players?
Mostly it's the Houston guys, Houston and Toronto. I mean, that's mostly my guys, but like the guy like Bichette I have is very low owned on DraftKings. And
yeah, me too. I mean, like Toronto, I got Guerrero over 10%. I have Springer over 10%, but nothing crazy, like 12%, something like that. Bichette, I have about 10%.
Yep.
You're expecting it to be more than that?
No, I'm saying that I feel good about that. I don't think they're gonna. I don't think Altuve is gonna be popular, and that's bizarre to me.
So I'm ranking these guys right now. So let's have some fun. So I'm ranking these guys by ownership. I have actually the highest owned guy is Tatis, even though it's 6,200. Like these San Diego guys, like Tatis and Machado.
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't have any over 20 on DraftKings. I have the KC, Rendon. I have it 15%. I have it spread out. I mean, honestly.
Yeah. Nobody's playing Correa. Nobody's playing Alvarez at his price. They will play Tucker and Brantley, but if you play them with Altuve and Garcia, who also cross positions, you know what I mean? And then Bichette's and all my other ones. Like I just think there's enough value in these. They're lower owned already, or at least going to be similarly owned to these other stacks. And I mean, if this game was in Baltimore, you'd have everybody and their mother would be on Houston. I believe. I don't understand. I understand the pricing is high and it's hard to play all these guys, but I'm just dividing those teams up. I think that they're straight up better. I mean, they're projected better than San Diego. Like, you know what I mean? Everything is, and so I'll just go that route.
You know who I'm getting actually as a chalky part of San Diego is the catcher.
Mm-hmm.
Whoever that is, 15%. I have him at.
Yeah, I have all my catchers as already locked up, so I don't. You have Caratini that high? I didn't think you'd be that high.
Oh, I didn't even have it as Caratini. I had the other one.
He's not. No, Caratini's catching.
Oh, Caratini's catching, not just.
We're playing two catchers that I'm missing.
Oh, I didn't San Diego. Sorry, I meant Castro for Houston. We were talking about Houston.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Yeah. Houston. I would expect Castro to be high owned. I think that Torrens and McGuire are the other ones, but I'm mostly playing Torrens over McGuire, even in my Toronto stacks. I just like it better than Riley Adams, who has had like 2 hits and a million at bats. And he's batting 5th, and I like Seattle. And I have the 2-man with Ty France if I want to go there for cheap at first base, if I'm not playing Vlad in that lineup and I'm stacking Houston or something. But I'm playing it like it's a very small slate because that's the route I when I'm not playing as many lineups. All of these, I mean, the San Diego is obviously a great stack, and both sides of the LA New York game have great value and things. I'm just not mass entering. It's not the same slate as yesterday where, and also we don't have all the games like we did yesterday. So I'm just treating it like it's a much smaller slate, and doing that, I'm 40% on Torrens. I'm actually up to 35% on Ty France. I have 65% Altuve. I have 70% Austin Riley, 60% Garcia, 40% Bichette. It's basically just them at my shortstops on DraftKings. And then 60% of both Brantley and Tucker. in my stacks. But again, like I said, the other parts of the stacks are going to be lower on. So.
Oh, okay. So let's talk about something important here. So we're going to talk about my son's sports bets.
Okay, what does he got for the night?
Dude, he's a freaking genius because we were talking about this earlier in the live stream in the recording, and I was saying that Matt was thinking of like going the Clippers as a blowout route, and you and I were saying that with Ayton's ability to control the boards, I think that's a terrible idea. That it's probably going to rate to be a close game, and I just asked him what he's doing, and he's actually that's exactly what he did. He's playing this to actually be a close game. What is this? What are these things?
Both teams either to win by 1 or 2.
Oh wow!
Either win by 1 or 2.
And the draw.
What are the odds on that one?
And the draw thing at halftime. So he needs it to be either a draw at halftime. What time is 22 to 1? You getting on that?
Yeah, I think so.
22 to 1 on exactly a tie at halftime, and 11 to 1 to be a 1 or 2 point game. Either way, or one wins, the other loses. So 10 to 1, right?
Yeah, 10 to 1.
So 10 to 1 on being exactly a 1 or 2 point game, and 22 to 1 on being a tie at the half.
I mean that's interesting. It's wild. Like it makes like sense. It's the only part that if you're doing that though, you'd think you'd want to bet the Suns. I mean, the Clippers haven't won a close game basically in this postseason. They've only blown out people or controlled games. They haven't really. I think they had one close one against Utah, but most of the games they've won, they've controlled. So I would look at that as well. Even though I like the Clippers tonight slightly, I think it's really close.
And what is this hockey thing you have here, Matt?
If Canadians win
In overtime.
any of those amounts.
No, this is 80 to 1 thing.
Oh, that's if they win by 5 goals.
If the Canadians win by 5 on the road,
I win by 1, by 2, by 3, by 4, by 5.
I don't see that. Oh yeah, by 5, by 3,
So
by
if the
4, by 1, by 2.
Canadians win, then
Right.
only 2 goal win.
I got it.
It's
See, the
huge.
Canadian. I got it.
Amazing.
11 to 1 on the Canadians winning by 2.
It's phenomenal.
Is Guy Lafleur playing? Is Patrick Roy back in goal?
Is this the first game?
No.
No, this is game 2.
I actually totally am out on hockey. I didn't have not caught up on it.
Well, you
Who
destroyed them first game.
did?
The Lightning destroyed them in the first
I
game.
should win.
Wow. Yeah, I like that though. Let me see.
You think Zubac is? Do we have any word on Zubac? Is he playing?
Zubac is. No, we have no word. I'm sort of like wondering what happens if he does play. Like, I don't know. It's weird. They just do better with the small lineup, even though he's played really well in the series.
What are you doing in? You want to talk about what you're doing in the showdown?
Sure. And yeah, guys, pop in any questions or anything. I know it's kind of a weird slate. We're waiting on weather, but yeah, I'm doing basically what we said earlier. I'm using my only captains are Paul George and DeAndre Ayton. I'm leaving money on the table and fading either Chris Paul or Booker, and they're each in half of them. But DeAndre Ayton will be in all of them. Terrence Mann will be in all of them. Marcus Morris, either way, I think they're going to play the small ball lineup, so he'll be in all of them. And then I'm splitting up Batum and Beverly.
Yeah, I have so far. I have Paul George lock buttoned. I have 90 of Morris. I have 85 of Batum. But I told you, I got these guys in the captain. I got Batum in the captain. I got Morris in the captain. I got all this. I got these guys in the captain. Hopefully that does something for me. I have 25% Kennard.
25% Luke Kennard. Yeah, that's cool. I like that. I mean, it makes a lot of sense. I don't think it's way off the board, though.
No. None of my guys are really way off the board, but to put some of these guys in the captain, I think that's the way to get different.
I saw another thing back.
What do you got?
So, are you confident in either team to win at all, or no?
Am I confident in either
Who
team?
do you
to win?
think's going to win?
What, the basketball game? Let's just say, just for argument's sake, let's say I like the Clippers.
Okay. If you bet on Chris Paul, to score the first basket. And the Clippers to win is like 23-1.
What? That's
Yeah,
not-
Chris Paul. Yeah, because he doesn't.
Oh,
his
Chris Paul, actually. Okay.
is like
Yeah.
probably 11 to
Right.
1.
Right. So Chris Paul.
So if you bet on, there's like 4 of them. One of them should get it out of the 10 on the court. Bet on the 4 guys the best 4 guys. That you can get like 11 to 15 to 1 on each of the guys.
Well, what would be interesting to know is if you had an edge, like if you knew, like Bobby, like that on the first possession, XYZ usually runs a play for so and so.
I looked it up.
Oh, you
I looked up previous. There's no trend.
There's no trend.
I was thinking 8.
Well, they don't usually run post for Ayton, but this is this game where they would. The most logical play per first basket for Phoenix would probably be Ayton tonight. Just logically, because they're going to probably run him in the post. That's what everybody's saying that they messed up with is not giving him enough balls, not trying to get in the ball enough against the zone.
And not only that,
Who will win the
who
tip?
will win the tip? That's a good question. Probably Phoenix, right?
Yeah, I would bet Phoenix to win the tip.
Ayton all day.
And then not only that, but Aiden also has other outs. Like if somebody else takes a shot, he can get the
That's
offensive
what I'm
rebound
saying.
putback.
It's good. The problem is Nation doesn't have.
Nation doesn't have that.
I was just looking at it. I feel that's a great bet to me. 23-1. Like
Yeah, but if you're the 23-1, you're betting on the first basket. You know what I mean? Like,
that's ridiculous. But think about it. If you can bet on 5 out of the 10 guys on 23-1,
yeah, but you're going to be losing 4 of them.
okay, bet $1, bet 1 on each, and on all of them being average to 16-1, you're profiting 12 if you hit it. Like it makes sense to me. If you get the wrong guy, you lose 4. You lose 5.
Yeah, but don't worry about the 23-1 part because half of that is just your bet on the win. Forget.
So I'm saying
bet
if
out.
you think you know who's going to win though,
Well, okay, whatever. But
and then you can have to start hedging and stuff. I mean, I think it makes sense. Smart bet. Can't do it.
Yeah, I would overload that one on Ayton. Or
Ayton and the Suns did the dead. No.
is there any match play here with Ayton? You can bet?
Nope.
No, nothing over there. Alternative point spread.
No, it's in bed, GM.
I think we got enough action here.
We do have good action. Canadians have to play good. Otherwise, we have an issue.
Let's get a weather update.
No parlay.
Yeah. We'll get one in 2 minutes. Let's see if there's anything in the chat real quick too. Any C's on FanDuel and large field? I'm not doing it, but I don't mind it. I just didn't find the reason to end up getting too crazy with it, but I don't mind it if you want to do it. C's. Are you playing any C's tonight, Sheets?
Nope.
I didn't think so.
Nope. I don't want hockey. I like basketball.
Fuck. I gotta do my usual bet.
What are you?
My bet.
What are you doing?
A big one.
Oh, the Hail Mary.
It's gonna hit one day.
Yeah. Okay.
It will hit one day. When can you leave this house? What time?
Me?
Yeah.
Why?
I pick up my car.
You need me to take you?
You said I won.
Like 7?
That's fine. They close at 7.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Meanwhile, all these freaking NBA guys are totally soft. My freaking son has a 10 o'clock game tonight on his ankle. They called him up and said, "Oh, by the way, we're going to give you guys a second game." So he's playing back-to-back games.
Oh, geez.
But it's all right. They got a deep bench. They have 6 players total.
That's pretty rough.
6 players total,
Off that round.
and full 20-minute halves.
We looked up who we played. They lost by 16 their first game.
Okay.
Easy though. Easy though.
But as I said, he doesn't run very fast, so he's not going to get tired.
We push. How's it make throw hands?
That's the one thing I got to go to a game just to see Hausman go crazy.
How's he? I just gotta choose. Basically, pick him for the Bucks team. With Giannis out.
Bucks game's not till tomorrow.
I know, but it's pick him.
Trey Turner.
Oh, Giannis is not. Giannis is assumed out for tomorrow.
Doubtful.
He's doubtful. Wow.
Yeah.
And it's Pick'em
I didn't see that.
at Milwaukee, I presume, right? It's at Milwaukee, right?
All right. Put the lock tonight.
And we're using, and we're assuming Trey's in.
Maybe quick hit real.
Sure, we'll go to the weather real quick. Trey's still very questionable too.
Oh, really?
I think
You know
he'll
what
play.
happened when there was no Giannis versus and no Trey? Hawks ran him out.
Nah, no Giannis, no Trey again. The Bucks will probably slaughter him.
And Royals ain't any good this year. No, they still fake.
I don't even know who's good to win the games. I just know their fantasy stuff.
Jump anything else on the chat?
What we got?
Everything. It looks like there's nothing really right now, but still just waiting on the weather. It's kind of hard to talk through it without knowing what's, I just want to see, just double check that the Yankee game is more clear than I thought. Yeah.
Is that game here in New York?
Yeah, it should be fine, right?
Yeah,
It's very hot again.
It's very
Strategy
hot.
Did not work.
very hot. Matt's strategy about fading the teams playing in the heat did not work out too well last night.
The other one, you got the big one though. Congrats on the big one. That's a
He had two hot takes. He had Yankees under. That was done in the first inning, and then he had Ohtani no home run,
I guess I gotta
and
go
that was
with
done in the first
the
inning.
cold take to the hot ones.
The cold take to the hot.
Lock.
ones. You got a lock.
kind of weird that people aren't going to play the Yankees on FanDuel. Too cheap.
That's free money right
The
there.
Yankees on FanDuel.
Yeah, they're too cheap, man.
It's been placed.
Oh, so by the way, I am just extraordinarily, condensed in my PGA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I went really condensed
Me too.
with the guys that we talked about.
Oh, kind of going.
Me too. So we're dead, huh?
We're dead as Kelso.
Oh man.
My son just looked at me. What the hell are you talking about? Deader than Kelso.
Nobody playing the Yankees on FanDuel. Okay, I might have to. Just they're too cheap. I mean, it's like has two offs or one offs. I mean, like Sanchez is 2,900 against Ohtani. It's a reasonable home run spot.
You win one game, you get one lineup. If you win two games, you get two lineups in the golf.
If I what?
You win 2 games tonight.
2 games.
You're playing 2 games. What?
Oh, I thought you meant my bets.
You're a little thick, aren't you?
I'm like, huh?
You win 2 games tonight. You get 2 lineups when you come back. 1 game, 1 line.
Team lost by 16. We're gassed. You're making like 2 games.
Just say the word. You could have just said the word.
We got 6 though. Housen's getting pissed at that point.
Bob, I'm telling you, one of these days I'm going to be called upon out of retirement.
To play?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I said I'll play if you don't have 6. I'll be the 6th.
Coach Collins, baby. 1-0 as head coach. Nicholson
All
playing.
right. So let's see. Yeah, looks like there's no questions, guys. A lot quieter than yesterday in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Big Tickets S is the Boston game is playing. I don't know.
Should all bet with
Who
me.
said it?
I don't know what's going on in Boston.
Who said it's playing?
No, someone's asking if it was playing.
Oh, it's just. I mean, looks shaky. It's not safe.
I think the Boston one. I don't know. One of them. Which is the one that there's one that's going to be. I think it's going to be okay. The other one was.
San Diego, Cincy.
Yeah.
Those are the most worrisome. And then I'm just getting an updated thing about these things. And I mean, the possible delay, just to reiterate, gives you enough of an excuse to get out because Nola's still going to be popular. Now, I think he's still the best pitcher on the slate, but I don't think he's so much better, especially on FanDuel, than Bassett is. Okay, so I got my Philly combo stacks going. We're We're in business. Man, getting that Houston and Houston and Toronto is tough on DraftKings. Even with the paydowns, it's not the easiest thing in the world to do.
Telling you, we're being really, really sneaky. We're being sneaky good DFS content providers. Is that you have you like Houston and Toronto, right? I don't think I have a share of either of them on DraftKings.
Mhm.
So someone's gonna do something.
I like Philly too.
Yeah, I got 36% Segura.
Yeah, I think he's going to be really popular today. But that makes sense. It's just weird that Matt Harvey's pitching and no one's going to play like one of the most potent offenses in the last month against them. If he plays Straw,
This Philly thing is real. I like the Philly thing.
yeah, I'm into that too. Oh, here we go. Look at that. It only ends up with a 2-minute though. Third base is that position. Oh my god. Third base is so weird today for me on DraftKings. Other than it's like hard for me not to have Riley in. Like he's in so many of my lineups.
Third base.
Yeah. I do have some Jesus Sanchez as a spend down on DraftKings as well, where I'm not playing Nola.
Who?
Sanchez, the rookie.
Oh, okay.
He's batting 6th for Miami. He's got talent though, this kid. One, two, three. Oh, this is a beauty. This lineup can't lose. Oh, it's also not going to be allowed. I hate that they don't. I hate that they make you play all. You can't have the only 2 teams on DraftKings. This fits in so perfectly for my builds.
What are they not letting you do?
You can't play. You have to play more than 2 hitting stacks.
Oh.
More than hitters from 2 teams. Which I don't really understand that, but. Oh wait, no, they did. Hold on. That's weird. They did. Nice. All right, guys, pop in any questions, NBA or MLB. Where did you see the question about the Boston game? Oh, there it is. That was before.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, earlier. Still, we don't look. There's no late start. It's going to be probably worse for them. It seems like because It seems like it's coming no matter what. That's what they're saying anyway.
I'll tell you, I'm not actually getting as much DeChambeau
Really?
as maybe I would want.
That surprises me.
Yeah.
I am loaded.
GPP life, I guess.
Yeah, my golf ownerships are pretty condensed too. I'm loaded up on both Jones and Kirk.
Oh, beauty.
And I like your boy and Grillo too. I did a little more digging. I still can't figure out your love for Charles Howell III, but
Whatever. It's just that he's one of the 7K guys, the lowest owned. I hadn't played.
I know. I just was trying to figure, but I was trying to think about it. Like, I guess if with the course, but I guess that maybe that's the problem. That's what everybody else is doing, so that's why no one's playing him.
Let's see what we got here. How many of these do I put in? Swoon. Knox. Yeah, this. I have a couple of guys that have, when they say, done me dirty before. Let's see what the Siwoo Kim can redeem himself.
Yeah. There's the official delay in Boston.
Okay.
So definitely increases the likelihood of them playing based on the weather, the radar.
Oh, that's what that means?
I think so. That's how I'm reading it.
Okay. Oh, I like that. Okay. See something.
You know, I got a lot of on. I ended up getting a lot of Swanson on FanDuel.
Oh yeah.
It's 2,500. Just even as a one-off. Like I'm using a lot of these Atlanta guys as one-offs. Just they're cheap enough on both sites. Like Heredia is in my main lineup on DraftKings.
Look at these scores in these early baseball games.
It's nuts. Like Trey Turner hit for the cycle.
You know, this would be a perfect like Matt bet. How much would Matt have been able to get on the fact that the Colorado game would be the lowest scoring of all the games on the slate?
Yeah, that's true. Actually, I actually not that surprised, but
No. Well, you like Gray, and you know what I mean. Pittsburgh sucks.
yeah. And I mean the other game.
But meanwhile, Pittsburgh sucks. They scored 2 runs. Brian Reynolds went off.
I had Brian Reynolds. He was in my main lineup.
Yep.
But unfortunately, was not on FanDuel.
Do you know who's really bad, by the way?
Who's that?
Really bad at hitting baseballs? Ben Gamel.
Oh yeah.
He's really bad.
I always bet on him too because he was like a top prospect.
Yeah.
I always wanted to I don't know, believe in him, but it's pretty rough.
Wait. Did Schwarber not hit a home run in a game where Washington scored 11 runs?
I think so.
That's like a Soto move. Meanwhile, Soto has 31 fantasy points with no home runs.
Soto has 30 with no.
2 stolen bases.
He was in my main lineup too. Maybe I did end up doing it. I have to check how I did after I finished building this.
2 stolen bases, 3 runs, 3 hits.
Two
Wait,
stolen.
that means no extra base hits either.
Jesus,
How do you get 31 fantasy points with no extra base hits?
that's wild. That's the thing that Trey Turner stole at least 2 bases. He stole the first 2 bases in the first inning.
Oh,
But he
yeah.
and stole the bases. That's pretty big. That's hard to do. I don't know if that's got to be up there. I mean, how many guys have multiple stolen bases with a cycle? It's hard to do. Really hard to do.
I wonder how many people have gotten this. I bet you a bunch, but cycle with the walk also.
That I know has happened more. I once saw at a game Willie Randolph when he played for the Dodgers. He hit for the cycle, had a walk, and a sacrifice bunt.
And a hit by pitch. Oh, and a sacrifice.
And a hit by pitch.
He had
I'm
all of them? No.
I'm pretty sure it was like the second or third time in history, and the other time was like
Really?
maybe it was the only time in history. I got to double check that one because I'm pretty sure he did. My memory says it, but it's one of those things. I was a kid at the time. I can't really recall too easily. Jared Wolf. Quiet out there today. A lot of stuff going on there. Riley,
A little too quiet.
I know. Maybe that means we win today. I don't know.
Um,
I'm definitely winning on today's early slate. I just don't know how much yet. I gotta take a look.
my current winnings on the early slate is currently winning 0.
Really? No good? I didn't know
0.
that. That
Yep.
sucks.
0. Meanwhile, you still got the Washington Tampa still got a couple innings. Franco, man, it didn't take them long, huh? Put Franco to 4,700.
Yeah, I know. I'm actually surprised. It won't be long before he's above the 5K mark too. I really think he'll start.
It's funny the way the world works out. Like so they literally the first game they paid him 2K
And he goes off.
27 fantasy points. You know, he's basically busted every other game.
Absolutely, yeah. Somehow he still keeps ending up on the winning lineup because he's played so much.
And they keep on increasing his price tag every single game.
They should.
Should they?
Yeah, he should have been a higher price in the first place. But I mean, he's probably right now for what he's done in the majors. But he's I think a pretty much a can't miss guy. That's how I feel about him anyway.
I wonder.
What, you just don't believe in him? These guys never miss. Nobody misses.
I wonder.
We'll see.
Yeah, that was a bad one, by the way, Bobby.
What is it? Oh my God! I should have got that. Jesus, I didn't even get it. I didn't even get it. It makes it a good one. If you don't get it right away, I think that qualifies as a good one.
This is a good question. How much Ohtani are you getting to?
I have him 27% in DraftKings, and I don't. But they're all mostly in my lower buy-ins.
Ooh, this is so weird. About to pour. I guess there's a difference because WW Fresh is about to pour here in New York. Like I'm out in Nassau County, and there is not a cloud in the sky, which is about 30 miles from the Yankee Stadium. It's possible. It could very well be pouring right there.
Yeah, I'm double checking the weather right
You're
now.
in Fishkill, though, WW, right? That's even further.
Who's closer to the stadium?
I am.
I don't know all these neighborhoods. I only was there for a week.
Yeah.
Not long enough. I don't know. It's another hot one out there. I just feel weird to be off that game.
So hot. It's so hot out. It is so hot.
Am I messing up not having more of that game? Nah, I'm okay. I like what I'm doing. The combo era. The combo.
I got one FanDuel lineup with Herman, by the way.
Oh, interesting. Okay, I actually like that.
Yeah, one small one with Herman.
I'm gonna try to differentiate it real quick on a couple of my plays on FanDuel right now. Actually.
Ooh, and look at CP. See, this is going to be the brand of this of my content. Is like how many just like awful jokes are going to be thrown in there. CP's coming in with the pitcher being Ober-owned. You like that?
Oh, I like it.
There it is. I didn't even see it from like 10 minutes ago.
Let's see if we played him here in Sanchez. I have literally 100% Vlad Guerrero on FanDuel.
Oh my God. Let's go.
Can't we overweight on him enough. Sanchez. How much is Herman over here? Let me see. I didn't even factor him in on FanDuel. I just thought about him on DK. Oh, like 65? That's pretty reasonable. Yeah, you could do the combo Yankees. There we go. We have but yeah, that's why the Yankee run total went down so much. Judge is not really in the lineup. That's how little I was considering them until recently. Especially Sanchez as a one-off, I think is a really good play. He's probably going to strike out 3 times, but he may hit a home run as well.
Watching a few storms develop near the ballpark. This Mets weather. Watching a few storms that recently developed near the ballpark still looks good as of now, but we'll have to watch for any further development from Mets weather.
From the Mets. They're not even playing at home.
Yeah, that's where it's from.
Wait, are they? What am I missing here? Did I have my schedule mixed up? No, they're in Atlanta. Yeah, I was like, what just happened? You know, I was like totally sure of it, and then I was like, wait a minute. No, they're playing Atlanta.
Kevin Roth on Twitter, so we can repeat what he said on Twitter. The concern in Boston isn't so much the heavy rain they're seeing now. That will clear. It's what happens behind that. If a second wave come in, it's big trouble. Big trouble.
Phil Gosselin, 2,600 cleanup for the Yankees. And for the Angels.
I gotta do
That
something.
Angels lineup coming in so late is always like throws people off.
Which?
The Angels lineup coming in so late. I like the Herman idea. I'm doing it in one of my 77s.
Okay.
You talked to me. I mean, I always wait till FanDuel right before lock to finish my lineups, and it didn't occur to me really, but that actually does make a lot of sense. I think I like it a little better than C's at 8,100 at the spend downs.
Okay, so we're changing this. Rudder and Smith scratched.
You know who I'm afraid of not having enough of because of my love for Houston is Gurriel. I almost forced him in there.
Gurriel?
Yeah. Boy, we really do have. I mean, it's going to be chalky, but there's a lot. We have a lot of Segura, a guy who doesn't have a lot of power, and that doesn't feel great.
No.
I mean, he's a good hitter, a really good hitter in real life, but he's just. You do get some stolen base upside, I guess.
Fenway weather update. Tonight's first pitch will be delayed. We'll let you know as soon as we have a new start time. Okay. All right, I'm gonna split. Good luck, everybody. Hope whatever decision you make regarding the weather is the correct one.
Likewise, what he said.
Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one if you get that wrong. Well, it's not gonna be a rough one if you get it. You know what I mean? Like if you fade it, but if you go too heavy on this stuff, like I think I am right now, I'm gonna have to change some of this stuff. I think. When do these games start? Any of them start right at 7:10?
7:07, all of them pretty much, but not all of them. 7:07 and 7:10, then Astros is later, obviously. But I'm gonna know how I do very early on in this slate.
Yeah, well, that's all right.
Yeah, no problem with that.
Yeah, it's just a question of how much.
I'm going to dinner with a guy I can't mention who it is on air, but a guy who we talked about before, who you had some links to as well. I haven't slept in 3 days, and my girlfriend talked me into a 9:15 dinner with these guys, and I'm still on East Coast.
Wait a minute. Who? Wait, I don't remember what you said.
There's a movie about him.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
Oh, that's great.
Yeah,
That's
that guy.
I thought that was going to happen in New York. Okay.
Oh no! He's out here,
Okay.
but they've become friends. He and the girl I'm seeing, so it'll be fun.
Oh, that should be fun.
Yeah. All right, guys. Good luck to everybody. Hope everybody crushes it.
Yeah, I gotta find the browser with everybody in it. This is something I just don't know. Oh, there it is. I think. Hold on. Yep, there it is. All right, good luck, everybody, and